Well, today is 7 September 2021. I'm going to touch on one stock that I really like. That is Xiaomi, which is a long-term play by me, and I have a big position in it. Well, Xiaomi is the world's number 2 handset seller in the world as of 2Q 2021. That's been reported by renowned research company, and you can just check on the news. It's reported in Straits Times, CNA, and quite a number of news articles online. In fact, Xiaomi is a lot more than just pure mobile handset seller. So you see that well, they are also world number one in terms of wearable wristband recently has been announced, and they have like fridge, TVs, etc. And they have businesses like the internet business segment and the internet of things segment. And these two platforms are growing very nicely in terms of revenue and on a year-on-year basis and quarter-on-quarter basis. It is also embarking on chip developments recently, and they have a venture into electric vehicle business, which they have recently announced the incorporation of an EV company, and they have already had the core team being formed. So with all engines growing rapidly, you can see the reason why I've taken a stake in Xiaomi over the last few months. Whenever there's price dip witness, I will just pick up more shares. So you'll see that well, it's not a big surprise this year that the price is hovering around the range of 33 to 28.6 Hong Kong dollar for the last few months, because this is also a case of a significant price jump from 17 Hong Kong dollar sometime last year to around 26 Hong Kong dollar, which is close to 50% gain. So can it break out to go even higher with better results? Well, this is the price chart for the last 2 to 3 years, and you see that Xiaomi for the longest while had dipped to below $10 Hong Kong dollars, and it has slowly climbed back above that level, and subsequent to that it break up on top to go to around 26 Hong Kong dollar before coming down a bit and soaring all the way up to $35 for its all-time peak in terms of price. Then it slowly come back down to 23 Hong Kong dollars, went back up. To me, I take Hong Kong $26 as a very critical price point, 26.6 and $26. If in the near future they can break above these two levels, it's worth to take a closer look of Xiaomi for people who do not have a stake in Xiaomi. Well, Xiaomi is not really a love counter by many brokerage firms. Reason being because they've been citing chip shortage is a big storyline right now. Automobile cars, potential price risk. Reason being because chip shortage now is also spreading to the consumer electronics, for instance, mobile handset. So Xiaomi being world number 2 handset seller after overtaking Apple has seen this potential price risk arising from chip shortage. Of course, Huawei's honors, which Huawei had sold some time back, they have a brand of handset that is posing a threat, and people view it as a potential threat to Xiaomi handset position in China. But of course, compared to Oppo and Vivo, Xiaomi is still not at number one. So will it pose a threat? Well, Xiaomi is different in a way that it's doing very well internationally, growing rapidly in Latin America, Europe, etc. And also there's another risk that people are concerned about. There's the EV playbook that people wonder whether Xiaomi is late in the game and whether is the 10 billion investment worth it. Will it be getting a lousy ROIC, return on investor capital? Well, this is a question that you have to answer for yourself. But for me, Xiaomi has delivered, and Lei Jun being an engineer will likely have think through structurally on how to allow Xiaomi to soar to greater heights. But the big question right now is when will investors, institutional funds love Xiaomi stock? Of course, if I did not recall wrongly, Bridgewater and a number of certain funds have also bought Xiaomi. quite recently. Okay, this point, um, right now today I didn't check the this particular point, but you may like to research it online. Well, recent developments, like what I mentioned earlier, they incorporate a company to develop EV. Core team has been formed. They had excellent 2Q201 results. But even then, price hovering between 24.2 and 26 Hong Kong dollar range for the last 2 weeks. One thing to note is that Beijing aims to lead Xiaomi to be a world number one mobile handset seller. This is something that if it's done well, this can bring Xiaomi's revenue and profit numbers to greater heights. Well, look at the results, key highlights with revenue, gross profit, profit numbers. They are all soaring on a year-on-year basis and on quarter-on-quarter basis as well. More than 10% quarter-on-quarter in terms of revenue, and more than 64% on a year-on-year basis in terms of revenue. Profit as well. Looking into the business segment, there are smartphones, IoT, and lifestyle products, and internet services, and others, all growing nicely, churning nicely in terms of figures. And in fact, if I recall one particular news article, fintech is also going to be a very important business segment, and a news article report that Xiaomi is also venturing into India's 1 trillion market in terms of the lending business. This is a very interesting area which, if successful and profitable, will bring Xiaomi's revenue and profit numbers up further. Well, gross profit margin wise, all margins are growing, in particular the handset. And if for the handset itself, Xiaomi has gone beyond the normal affordable range of handsets and have priced out for the higher end smartphone, and that in itself had helped the gross profit margin for Xiaomi. So instead, compared to Apple, Xiaomi can bite two bites of the pie, the affordable range as well as the high end. Of course, even high end, Xiaomi follows its own core principle, that is providing value for money. Even high end, they are not going to price it as expensive as compared to Apple and Samsung. Short term wise, I don't think cash flow is an issue, despite having poured big money into EV going into future. And with so many sub engines like IoT, its internet money active user growth rate is growing strongly as well, and going into fintech and internet business where they can get more advertising revenue. There's so many engines and sub engines for Xiaomi to make money. Of course, the chip concern is valid, but can it really impact the price on the long run? No, because ultimately people will find solutions to it, and that's when the true profit potential will fully be unleashed. And with the risk and worries being taken away, what do you think the price will be for Xiaomi going forward in future? And one important point to note is Lei Jing mentioned in one of his talk that he want to give IPO investors the chance to make at least one ads from Xiaomi. And Xiaomi IPO price was around 17 Hong Kong dollar, and that in itself means 34 Hong Kong dollars. I don't think Lei Jing is someone who is just a pure marketer. He's in fact not really a marketer, he's an engineer, and I believe he will not disappoint IPO investors. At the price of 25 Hong Kong dollar, there's another $9 upside, which is 36%. But even then, I believe that Xiaomi has the chance to hit 60 Hong Kong dollar, but this will require tons as well. Will there be price risk? Of course there is. When market talks about asset tapering, market correction, or high valuation. But the great thing is Hang Seng Index and Hang Seng Tech have come down a lot from their all-time peak. Hang Seng Tech Index has come down from around 11,000 to right now around 6,770 points. So think about it. Apple's entire long-term price chart has also been reproduced here for people to see. Well, over the years, Apple share has grown so much and it's a $2.5 trillion company. And Xiaomi right now, around 80 plus 90 billion USD market cap. And if you believe that Xiaomi can be as good as Apple or even half as good, there's multi-baggers to be making from it if one is a long-term investors. But of course, whatever I say here is meant to document my own investment and or trading thoughts to myself, and this should not be construed as any investment or trading advice. Thank you.